Hello students, I hope you are having a wonderful day. So I would like to review some vector addition and scalar multiplication, and we're going to be using the head to tail method once again to find our resultant vector. And so I've loaded an assignment sheet on your files section, and it's titled Vector Addition and Scalar Multiplication. At the top of the page you are given 4 different vectors. And so I want to work through some of these problems with you. So on number 1, we have r, vector r plus 1/2 the magnitude of vector t. So we're going to start with vector r. Remember, the tail is the starting point of the vector, and the head, the arrow head, is the ending point of the vector. So what we have is vector r. So let's start with the tail, finish with the arrowhead. Remember to label each vector. And then we have plus 1/2 the magnitude of vector t. So 1/2 the magnitude of vector t. Got something that looks like that. So 1/2 t. Go ahead and label each vector, and then we're going to draw the resultant from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. And we can label our resultant with a capital R. Let's just go ahead and put the arrowhead on it there to signify vector notation. On number 2, we have vector R minus 2 times vector v. Okay, so let's draw vector r. And we're going to label the vector minus 2 times the magnitude of vector v. So right here we have vector v that's pointing down in a negative y direction. And so it's minus 2v, so it's the opposite direction and twice the magnitude. So this is going to be minus 2v. Okay, so opposite direction and twice the magnitude. So once again, our resultant vector is going to start at the tail of the first vector and end or terminate at the head of the last vector. Our resultant is identified by capital R, and we need to show vector notation, so put the arrow on the V, on top of the V. Number 3, we have 3 times the magnitude of vector V plus 1/2 the magnitude of vector R. Okay, so 3V, so 3 times the magnitude here, plus 1/2 R. And let's draw our resultant. Boom. Okay. Number 4, we have vector u minus twice the magnitude of vector v. So let's find u. There we go, up here, up there. Vector u minus 2v. So right here we have v is headed in a negative y direction, but we're going to go the opposite direction at twice the magnitude. So we need to label that as minus 2v. Need to label our resultant. So from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector, capital R with the arrowhead above it. Remember, we need to show vector notation. Okay, number 5, 1/2 t plus r. So half the magnitude of t plus r. let's draw our resultant. Okay. Number 6, we have 5v plus t, so 5 times the magnitude of v. So right here we have v pointing in the negative y direction, so 5 times that. So we have 5v and then t. Let's draw our resultant from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. And let's do 2 more. We have vector r plus 1/2 the magnitude of vector t. So vector r right here we have vector t, so 1/2 the magnitude of that. There's our resultant. And then number 8 is vector r plus twice the magnitude of v. So vector r plus 2v, so twice the magnitude of vector v. And then our resultant needs to be drawn. And capital R with the arrow over it showing vector notation. Okay, so this is vector addition and scalar multiplication. If you have any questions on this worksheet or you need some help, feel free to give me a call or send me an email. I will be more than happy to help you. I hope you have a wonderful day.